So hopefully everyone can see my screen, right? The presentation. Today Meet will update some class expectation first of all, and I'll tell you guys my new way of taking attendance. Not just you showing up, because I know some of you show up, but you're not really participating and not being there. So it's like someone showing up to class and falling asleep. That's not good. So my expectation for you guys is to be active, to be honorable. That means if you are held to do something, please do it to the best of your ability. Don't just get it over with. And to be mature. In most culture, especially my family culture, by the time you're 13 or 14, you're considered a young man. That means you have to do your parts. In Africa or in South America, in some cases, that's the age you start going on overnight hunt to provide food for your family as a man. Or as a young lady, that's when you start to be expected to carry out duty on your own in the field or take care of the household. So from now on, if I ask you guys to do Google Meet, I would like your camera to be on. You don't have to point it to your face. You can point it to your shirt. You can point it to the side of your room, but once in a while, if I need you to give me a thumbs up or whatever, I expect you to do that. If you want to be absolutely resistant, I am okay with it. I'm not going to pick an issue over it. But in real life, your teacher would see you and your classmate would see you anyway. So if you have a bad hair day or something, it's okay. Here's my hair, okay? No one's gonna judge because people are here to look at the information, not at your screen, okay? Unless someone have a crush on you, but still, that's minor issue. So please know that. So if I were, for example, talking to my puppy and he doesn't look at me, I'm not gonna be very happy. So we picked up Lucas a couple weeks ago, and this is me and Lucas in the car. But if Lucas is being talked to and he doesn't look at me, that's not really a best behavior out of my pet, and I would have to train him differently. Same with you guy. I'm not training you, but I'm asking you politely as an adult to young adult to behave. So for as I said, if I have Lucas being talked to and he doesn't look at me, it's kind of weird. Okay, so anyone know of the Vietnam War? Anyone know of the Vietnam War? The Vietnam conflict, as some people would say. Go ahead and type in the chat if you don't want to unmute. A little bit. Okay. So an example of observation skill that we did the last couple days. Sorry, my presentation is a little different. But an example of careful observation skill. One of the incident in that war that was kind of well known, and it was in the Time magazine, was called the My Lai incident, where some American soldier, because of the wrong coordinate, bad command by the young lieutenant they had, some of them blindly follow order, end up committing some war crime because they end up killing people that were innocent, women, children, some older men. And the gentleman on the right here had good example of great observation skill. So he's an officer who is a helicopter pilot, and he was able to stop the incident because he was able to call down and verbally give command strongly that they were in the wrong location at the wrong time. So you guys see how good observation skill end up saving hundreds of people because of the fact that he cared enough to pay careful attention. So observation skill is very, very important. And people think of observation like advanced science. It's not. It's just being aware. So I want you to be more aware of things around you, and that's what good observation skill. Sherlock Holmes is famous for his observation skill. And if you read the character in the book, he's very, very accurate and he's very, very detailed. Okay. So if you guys got a chance to, I shared the presentation in the chat right now. I know some people arrived late, so I paste it. But later on, if you guys have a chance to review the synchronous meeting today, watch this video from 2 minutes and 20 seconds to about 4 minutes. And this doctor explained how the character of Sherlock Holmes is based on a doctor who is very good at observing details. Now, why is it important? Because details allow you to get the best diagnosis. It allows you to build a relationship with your patient. And why does it matter? If you miss a diagnosis on someone, you might miss out an opportunity to cure them or to help them early before it gets worse. And I don't know about you, but when medical issue comes up and it's someone you love, like your mom, your sister, your brother, your niece, and your nephew, you would hope that the doctor make the best observation possible. Second thing about observation is you can write a scientific question based on your observation of nature. Okay, so please know that a scientific question can only be based on nature or an action and consequences of something natural, something that has nothing to do with human emotion, to have to do with human culture, and so on. So in the chat, I would like everyone to read this and tell me which letters, that means plural, there's more than one, which letters A, B, C, D, or E is not a scientific question, okay? And which one is a scientific question? So first let's start out which one is the scientific question. So pick a couple letter that is a scientific question. Which one is a scientific question? So there'll be more than one, okay? So which one is the scientific question? Go ahead and pick that. There's more than one letter. I need everyone to type in the chat because your answer and you participating is your feedback and that's your attendance. So if you don't type something, even though you show up here, you're not participating, you're not present. So I see Jalen put down BD. I see someone you put down one letter. Ryan, too many letter. Please keep it to the appropriate level. Okay, so, okay, good. Ryan, Justin, BDE. So which one is a scientific question? Anthony, we don't do thumbs up here, please. As I said, be active, be mature, and give me a couple letter that is the scientific question. So there's 15 of us. Hopefully everyone gets a chance to write down the answer in a minute. And I'll move on in about 20 seconds. B and D is the correct answer. Just a short question that you can ask related to hurricane and boarding up your house. So go ahead and write a question in the chat. The house going to be less damaged in the hurricane. If my window are not boarded up in the hurricane, will water damage get into it? And some of you wrote some very, very good scientific question too. Once again, no emotion based, no human based culture, just fact about things or animal or things like that. So on slide number 10, what is not a good question is my house gonna look less cute? Cute is a human emotion base, right? Or hey, is my house gonna be like smelly in my opinion? Well, I don't know. But smelly is kind of a human definition, right? Because there's always a smell of some kind. Is smelly a good thing or a bad thing? That's based on the person. So now for your homework that I just uploaded up on your Google Classroom yesterday morning, and you guys have until tonight to do it. It should take you only about 15 minutes after today's meet to do it. Is I want you to practice writing hypothesis and logical reasoning. A hypothesis always start with if, an action, then a consequence. So in this case, an example is if my house is boarded up during a hurricane, so my action is boarding up the house, then it will get less damage. The thing that we're going to add today that we have not done on Tuesday is to give a logical reasoning. So in this case, the logical reasoning is in purple because broken window can lead to water damage and flying debris coming in. Glass, once it's shattered, will give me broken debris inside the house. And you know, during the hurricane, there's a lot of rain that will come in and damage pictures, furniture, and electronics. So in a little bit, I'm going to give you a scenario and I want you to write a hypothesis and a logical explanation, okay? This should only take you about a minute or so to do after I present the slide, and we're going to wrap that up for today. Logical reason based on this observation. So take a minute to read it and write a logical hypothesis and explanation for this observation. So here we see a couple, and the hypothesis by Carter was very good. Let me see what Blanchet wrote. If you drive 40 miles per hour while you have your air conditioning on, then your gas mileage will go down. So that's a pretty good hypothesis, Blanchet, but the air conditioner was never in the observation. So whatever your hypothesis is, it has to be based on just what you were given, what fact you have, okay? So you can't assume any additional thing because that's not given to you. I didn't say anything about air conditioner. So you were on the right track, but just modify that. Take out the air conditioner part. And then you also need to explain why. So you drive 40 miles per hour, then your gas will go down because of the wind. So Johanna, that one, remember, we're talking about speed, not mile. It's not about distance, okay? I drove faster on the way there and slower on the way back. So it's about speed, not distance, okay? It's okay. That's why we're here to give you feedback. Imagine me being your soccer coach or basketball coach. You would never get upset at your coach for correcting you and giving you feedback so that way you can shoot better or kick better, right? So it's all good. As long as you do it, more power to you. Okay, so Jamira added his explanation with a because. Very good, Mr. Powell. Good job. If you're driving, so Savelio, if you're driving at a faster speed, has more air resistance than another, then driving slower will take less gas because of less. So Savelio, also a very, very good hypothesis and reason. So we have two very, very good ones. You guys should look at that and see if you can imitate it. And not copy it, but imitate. That means learn from them and do it on your own. Try it in different wording. So here we have the end of our lesson. Once again, observation needs to be accurate and detailed. Your scientific question cannot be based on human emotion or feeling, because what tastes good to one person might taste not so good to another person. So when we do tests, we have to do based on natural phenomenon. And a good hypothesis should always start with if an action. So if I drive faster or if I drive slower. And the second part has to have a consequences afterward then. So if I drive faster, then I will use more gas or my mileage would go down. Another way of typing it is if I drive slower, then I will have higher gas mileage or I would use less gas per mile. And then just for us to practice, you include a logical explanation afterward. You would say, because the faster you drive, the more the air is going to push you back. Or if you drive faster, you would have more air resistance. Hopefully with that, you all know how to write a hypothesis, if an action, then the consequences, and an explanation based on the observation you have. So don't add any extra detail. It makes it harder for you to do the test later. So I need everyone to type yes if they get it or no if they don't. And if you don't get it, stay behind for a minute and you can ask me. And that is your last thing for you to check out with today. Once you type yes or no, you can go ahead and log out. I wish you guys have a good weekend and I'll see you all on Tuesday if you're done, okay?